I'm Petra, and I have with me two sides of me.
Hey.
And you guys are from just up the street out of the Lynchburg area,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Okay, detention. That's good. I know, so good. So one of the things I like to do is interview bands about how did you get started? What's your passion, goals, and dreams? Take it away.
Well, everyone shut up. So,
Go ahead.
All right, Tony.
we met, we kind of like all just were going on blind dates looking for partners, and we ended up finding each other one by one. And you know, just kind of like speed dating, blind dates, friends set us up with friends. And here we are, happily married,
Yep.
except for that guy. We're all happily married.
That's
Blind dating for musicians.
Yeah, well,
right.
that's really fascinating though, because that's not the circles I sometimes like. They've known each other for a really long time, and they
Yeah.
decided to make a band. And you guys, no, we just decided to properly speak it.
Yeah, so these three older than us gentlemen right here have been friends for a very long time and made music. And then me and this gentleman right here made music in a different band. And both the bands just stopped making music. And then, you know, we kind of met through workplace and stuff like that. And then we kind of met up, started playing, jamming, and we started writing our own music. And then it just kind of took off
started
from there.
collaborating.
And here you are.
Yeah.
So, so individually or as a band, like, what got you started in music? What's the passion behind that? Why music, right? Because I mean, I'm an artist, and it's not music. So, why music?
When I was a kid, I just wanted to look cool. So that was kind of it. And then
he's not wrong.
I got more appreciative of the art as I grew older. But at first, I just wanted to look cool.
Yeah, fair enough.
I was
You don't have to.
I was 9 years
Don't have
old.
to.
I was 9 years old when my parents got me my first guitar, and that seemed to make sense. And so naturally, I had to join a band, and then realized that I suck at guitar. So now I'm a bass player. Shout out to all the bass players that just fall into the role because they suck at guitar. I feel your pain.
Sure.
Yeah.
You guys.
For me, I growing up, my mom grew up in Milwaukee, and our grandmother, or well, her mother, anyways, and my grandfather, they were R&B and jazz pianists, and my grandmother was a singer as well. So they always had music playing as loud as it could. The entire block would come over and like start dancing. Like it was insane growing up because living in middle of nowhere, Virginia, then you go to a big city where everybody's just coming over to party is something else. But Grandpa Doc, he would always start playing music. Said, "Jonathan, you know that song? What name that song? If you don't, you're not eating."
We still do that to them.
That's true. Yeah, that's why I've learned all the music. That's a lie.
Got it.
That's a lie.
What about you two? Anything?
Well,
No.
actually,
You know-
I have a confession to make. Growing up, I literally hated music. I hated music.
I love that.
Literally, all I've ever listened to growing up was country music, and I despised it with every ounce of my body.
Just a
I'm
disclaimer.
from Germany. Country music is not a thing.
Just a disclaimer. If you like country music but are also a fan of us, then we love country music.
Yeah, we love country music.
There's
Yes.
no problems
Right.
there. Just don't listen to
But-
us.
But he's got.
But no, I've really turned off of music for a while, and I think once I got into middle school and actually realizing that there was more to music than just crappy country music, then I was like, oh, wow. I was like, this is actually really cool.
Yeah.
And it just kind of really piqued my interest. And I was growing up around these guys, and they were playing music throughout middle school, and so it kind of influenced me and like, hey man, maybe I should start doing something. Like, yeah, if they can do it, I can do it. So
Right.
I just, yeah.
That's
They
awesome.
really inspired me to go.
Stop it.
What about you?
That's
What about
all,
you?
That's all the band members.
Yeah, that's it.
For me, actually, this guy and myself are cousins, and my grandfather gave me an acoustic guitar when I was 12, I think. And it actually just kind of sat in my room for a year. Then eventually, my mom was like, "You should probably learn how to play that because your grandfather gave you a free guitar." And it was actually a pretty nice Alvarez guitar. So I started just messing around and learning, and then from there, I started to, like Tony said, appreciate the art of what it is. Like before playing, I was kind of like, "Oh, all right, music's okay, cool." But once you realize how much work is put into it and stuff, you really appreciate the art. So from there, I just wanted to get better and do more things until I found these guys, and now we're not doing anything. So
So the flip side, so y'all did the speed dating thing. You're now a cool band, maybe.
Maybe. Debatable.
No, you were good. I really, really enjoyed the set, like truly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But with any kind of marriage, there's going to be shit going on.
Lots
You know,
of them.
Oh, yeah.
conflict, drama.
Yeah.
How do you guys make it through? I mean, because one of my key things when I talk to bands is to point that out, because a lot of fans show up to the band and thinking it's all freaking rainbow and
Oh, absolutely
unicorns.
not.
That's
Yeah,
not
that's
the
not the
case.
case.
So I like to point that out and share with the community, like, how do you guys make it through to continue when somebody has a dramatic episode?
I want to say
I think
Here
we
we
all
go.
have something to say on this.
Yeah, it looks like that.
I think most of the time we have conflicts is in the creative side of things. When we're working on
Absolutely.
music, going through ideas, working on videos too, which we've
Yeah.
been doing recently, and everyone has a different idea of what they want. But overall, we just find a way to compromise on something that makes us all happy and something that we all care about. You know, not everyone gets their way sometimes, but that's just kind of how it has to go. So,
You're like, yup, I didn't get my way.
That's how it goes.
So speaking from the like non-creative side of things, I think one of the main problems of like not just our band but like most bands in general is that they're not friends first. Like everything sort of becomes like business as usual, and that's one of the things that we are trying to like not do. Like we don't want to just fall into a routine where we're coworkers. We want to be friends as well, because ultimately that's what we were before we became a
So
band.
you hang outside out of the band.
Yeah, and it's like
Yeah.
it's
we don't
important not
we don't
to
a
lose
whole
that,
lot,
you know?
but we make a point to, like, after a certain amount of time, we're like, we've only been working. We need
Yeah.
like a weekend to just enjoy like time with each other and whatnot, and
Go out on
like
a fancy date.
distress basically. So
I mean, I think that's true for any marriage.
yeah, absolutely.
we play video games, we go disc golfing.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Honestly, I think another part of it is like everybody realizes that we are all unique individuals who have certain pet peeves. So like on the road, you know, like on a drive from like Wisconsin. So we played a show in Madison, Wisconsin, and then that night drove 18 hours and made it to doors opening here in Lynchburg, Virginia.
It's about an 18-hour drive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
18, and that's
overnight.
straight overnight. You know,
Yeah.
and multiple bands do stuff like that.
Absolutely.
But you know, the biggest thing is like understanding that everybody does have their pet peeves. Like, you know, if somebody's sleeping, let them sleep. You know, try not to push those buttons too much. You know,
Just a little.
yeah.
One time
We
I
respect each other. So.
I threw a bottle at Johnny one time while he was sleeping in the van. I think he was mad at me for like a whole week after that.
He won't do it again.
So yeah, I learned my lesson.
Well,
don't
no,
mess,
in
don't
my-
mess with your bandmates on the road
Yeah,
at all.
in my defense, it was soaking wet and like soaking through all my clothes and everything, and I was warm and comfortable. You know, nobody wants to
Yeah,
get water through.
But it's just a valid point, because when you're on the road for 18 hours
Yeah.
and then going on from one day to the next day to the next day, there is that stuff that's
Yeah.
going to come up for you, and you got to figure out how to, okay, maybe I
Yeah.
shouldn't do that the next
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
I think something that this band has been really good about is like recognizing that we can all be stupid. I mean, I say plenty of stupid stuff, and you know, I think
We all do.
I think everybody would recognize that they do. But the truth of it is like we're all adults, and we can apologize to each other and
Right.
truly move on. It's
Yeah.
like a genuine forgiveness, and I think that that's a key factor in that. Is if you can't forgive your bandmates, like people who you spend hours and hours and hours, like months and years with,
Right.
then that's just leads you into doom.
And it has been years. Yeah.
Back to the music real quick. What's your message behind your music?
Depends on the song.
It really does
Okay.
depend on the song.
I mean, it's fair enough. 'Cause,
We
I mean,
play a
some
pretty mixed genre, and like tonight we didn't play any of our kind of more like
Upbeat
pop punk
songs.
upbeat songs,
A lot of our songs
just
were
'cause
very angry.
just because it was the Headbangers
Heavier show.
Yeah.
Halloween show. So we wanted to display our heavier songs, but it really depends on the song, because the upbeat songs are about more upbeat, happier stuff, and then it just depends on our songwriting process, really, however we're feeling.
So how do you write your songs? Is it
Carefully.
based on like real
Very
life
carefully.
shit,
Yeah.
or just pulling it out of the air?
Usually this guy will come up with like some sort of a riff, and then myself and Ryan will kind of collaborate on lyrics and stuff.
And then Johnny and I will fix what he wrote.
But,
And by fix, they mean learn.
Yeah,
No,
basically.
someone brings an idea to the table, and then we just kind of work on it from there.
Yeah, we just kind of build on it.
Yeah.
You know, everyone kind of changes their parts if they want to what they think would sound better. I mean, if you're playing that part, then like you can mess with it, you know?
Yeah.
You don't want to
Nothing is set in
telling the
stone.
guitarist what to do, right?
Yeah, no, I don't tell anyone what to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the bassist just sits in the back and learns his
Right.
parts.
But
Yeah.
lyrically, it's no matter like what the song is actually about lyrically, because a lot of the stuff is like stuff from my life, like from lyrics that I have specifically written. But we try to make it sort of like a message that everybody can relate to.
Yeah.
So like whatever you're going through, whatever is like going on in your head, you can listen to the lyrics and be like, okay, I can see that. Like that relates to me in some way. So it's not like a set in stone. Like I'm sad because of this, or I'm angry
Yeah.
because of this.
Right.
It's sort of open to interpretation.
Right.
So.
That's really, really cool. All right, we're going to wrap this up. I have one question that everyone gets to answer.
Looking at you, Shane.
We'll start with you, Shane. We'll start with
Okay.
you.
All right, I'll try.
Somebody watching this interview and be like, well, I want to follow my dream. Whatever that dream is. It doesn't have to be music, right? Because I don't necessarily cater to that. What is your advice for that? Because so many people give up and don't take
Yeah.
action, and then they're 60 and they're fucking dying going, "Ah,
Yeah.
I didn't do what I wanted to do. So what's your one advice to the person that has this idea? I think I want to do this.
So I'm very passionate about that idea, and so that's why I shamed over Shane and said I was going to go first. If you have a dream, no matter what it is, you have to follow it and put in the hard work. And the most important part is not to give up, ever. No matter how shitty it gets, no matter how many things go wrong in your way, you cannot stop. If you keep pushing and pushing, it's going to work out. And you have to believe that wholeheartedly. Okay,
I'm
now-
going next. My thing would be definitely what Tony said, but also surround yourself with like-minded people who are willing to push you to keep going.
Yeah.
Like, there's days when everyone in this band are just kind of burnt out. We don't want to work on music this day or whatever. But someone will be like, we need to, because you're not going to get any better if you take one break and then another break, and then it becomes you stop doing it.
Right.
So whenever any of us get down, one of the other four will be like, no, we need to do this, and we'll do it. And I think it made all of us better. So my advice would be to find like-minded people that will push you, because it's really hard to do anything in this world by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go off of what both of them said. I mean, I completely agree. I think, I've been pursuing music since I was in high school, and I remember there was probably, I think probably about 8 years of it was just me by myself practicing. No one.
Yeah.
And I can tell you from experience that I've almost given up multiple times. But in the back of my head, I know that this is what I want to do for a career. So all I can say is keep working, keep pushing, and eventually one day you'll get your break, you'll get that opportunity, and I feel like once you get it, don't lose it. Take advantage of it. So yeah, just keep at it. That's all I've got to say. It's just if you got something that you want to do, just keep at it. It'll work out.
Yeah, thanks.
Tell the people what's on.
Well, let me know. As far as the following your dream, obviously everything, I do agree with what they're saying. I think a big part of it is recognizing the opportunity. I think so many people let opportunity slip through their fingers because they don't recognize it as opportunity.
Yeah.
They meet people who, something to what Shane said, who might be like-minded, but they don't see the whole picture. And that's really tough to do when you have no guidance. You know the end goal, but you don't know how to get there. Honestly, something for me that really helped out was reaching out to people who were in it. And talking with them, hearing that encouragement from people who I'm not necessarily close with, but just hearing older people who said, look, I've been playing for 20, 30, 40 years. Just keep pushing. You'll find the right group. You'll do great things. Don't pass up an opportunity for in my case, to play with somebody new, because they're going to show you something that you didn't know existed before. I think that's a good way to live by, because that'll ultimately show you opportunities that you didn't realize you were missing.
Yeah. Right on.
Taking a job is what led me here. So yeah.
All right.
So a principle that has really helped me in this band specifically, but also just in my day-to-day life, is your life becomes more meaningful when you carry a load that you like. So,
I like that.
putting in work even when it sucks, and I'll be honest, I'm not the best at it. Sometimes there will be days when I am just I cannot do this.
Yeah.
But You know, it's just about coming back to it and recognizing that the load that you're carrying is something that you want to do. And ultimately, once you reach that goal, even while you're reaching that goal, you're going to have little moments along the way where you think, oh my God, this is meaningful and this is good and I want to do this. But there's also going to be those days where it sucks and you hate it and you just want to lay in bed all day and do nothing. So it's important to just recognize the meaning that comes into life from carrying that burden and carrying, you know, working towards something. Because once you finally get it, it's like there. You know, you feel it. It's like, I did this.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I appreciate it. So you gotta be checking them out, liking them on Facebook, all the things, and I will be linking all the links that I'm gonna find on the blog post.
Yeah, pretty
So
much
y'all gotta
everything.
check them out. Yeah, so thank you for taking the time talking with me.
Yeah, thank you
Absolutely.
so much.
Thank you.